right? An idea of learning a language in a taxi driver. What if you're learning a language in a taxi? What would happen, you know? So that's random association. Again, did it really happen? No, never happened. But can you believe it could happen? Yes. Right? Taxi drivers are crazy in Hong Kong. They're nuts, you know? But you can believe it. You know, if you may not have experienced it, but you can believe it enough to say, you know what, I think he has, you know? So that's another thing you can do. All right? So those are all the writing techniques where, like I said, you know the formula of set up punchline, and then you force yourself to write past your comfort zone of like write 10 things about a certain topic, different perspectives on everything. As you're writing, think of punchlines, think of the funny part of what you're saying. If you focus on trying to find something that is funny rather than be humorous, the mental switch, in my opinion, makes a difference. When you're thinking, I gotta write something, punchline, you know, you will write that way. But if you tell yourself, I just need to write to be humorous, you know, it would be softer. You know, you won't be getting that laugh. You know, so think of how you're writing it for. If you want people to kind of giggle, that's fine. But if you want people to laugh and clap their hands and everything, then write that way as well. All right. So those are the writing techniques that I want to talk about. Now, when you actually perform comedy or being a joke master or doing any sort of presentation, at the end of the day, it's like the Olympics. You could train for 4 years, you could do all the exercises, eat correctly, but that day is what counts. That performance, coming on stage and doing it, that's what matters. Nobody is going to say, he's funny, you know, because I saw him, he prepared very hard, so I'm going to laugh a bit more, you know. No one cares. There's no mercy with comedy. No one's going to laugh at, he worked hard. It doesn't work that way. But you got to remember the performance is the key. So very often with comedy, as I said earlier on, if people like you, they like you, that's half the battle. But to make them like you, there's many ways. One, you could be a nice guy, come on stage, hey everyone, nice to meet you, thank you very much, you know. B, you could come on stage, be like, okay, you know, say something really funny immediately. Like, I'll give you an example. I like to ask people, how many people have seen my YouTube clip online? You know, oh, wonderful, many people have said, you know. So I have a YouTube clip of myself doing comedy online. And I remember one day I was at home, I brought my friend over to check the clip out with me. He was sitting next to me watching the clip. He watches the clip, and he's like, hey man, that guy looks like you. So, in a way, I kind of got the question I wanted of like, who's seen my YouTube clip? Okay, good. But then I had a little bit joke about it, which not only was funny in my opinion, but also it made people feel like this guy can laugh at himself. When you laugh at yourself, it makes people feel comfortable that you're just, you know, having a good time. You know, it's okay, we can laugh together. But if you came on stage straight up, you're like, hey man, what's your name? And you say, Jimmy. I'm like, Jimmy's a stupid name, man. Everyone's kind of like, oh. Don't talk to me. That sort of thing. So you need to be careful with that. Don't start off and just, what we call burning the audience. Don't start off and say something that kind of could offend people. Let's say someone had, you know, an ugly dress or something. Don't come on stage, hey everyone, how's it going? Whoa, that is ugly. All right. You know, don't say that because people don't know you yet. And they're like, whoa, okay, you're not hands of yourself, you know. So it becomes a war, right? So you come on stage, be happy, mentally and psychologically be happy. If you are happy, people will feel it. You know, and at the same time, when you're doing your comedy bit, when you're doing your performance, you need to believe it's funny. If I came on stage doubting what I was going to say, yeah, is it funny? I don't know, let's try, you know. If I do that, you will feel it in my voice. I won't have that belief in what I'm saying. You will feel that like, hey, so I was in the beach and, you know, the sand around that area started to sink. You can feel that little bit of like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, you know, where's he going with it, you know. So believe it, just be like, oh, it started to sink, you know, like really sell that. Because you are really selling a product. You're really selling a service. You're selling something that you crafted, like an art piece, you could say, you know. So believe that. It's with any type of speaking, but with comedy even more. Because you have to not only make people laugh, they need to enjoy and they need to want to laugh. I need to give them a chance as well, all right? So again, like I said, coming on stage, have a good impression. Let people like you to start off with, right? People like you, you're into 30 seconds of your stuff, people are enjoying what you're saying. You start talking and everything. Very often, laughing at yourself is the easiest way to get people to like you, obviously, right? Now you start with that, and then you can start going on a tangent, talking to people, saying what you have to say and everything. But like I said earlier on, the pauses are the most important thing. Why do I say that? Is because the audience needs to pay attention, as I said. but it takes a lot of effort on their part. People might be tired, right? They might have heard a whole day worth of lectures from their bosses and everything. Now they got to listen to you talk. You know, I'm tired, don't make me think. So simplify what you're trying to say and give them pauses to talk, visualize, and enjoy, right? So I could have said a lot of unnecessary things when I talked about going to the beach. You know, I could say, hey man, so who's been to the beach? All right, so Deepwater Bay, anybody Deepwater Bay? Deepwater Bay is good, right? Man, there's so much sand there. You know, so anyways, I was at the beach with all my friends. I had 2 guys and a girl. It was great. We had a whole bunch of people there. And then, you know, I was lying on the sand, and my friends were like, hey man, let's bury you in the sand. And so what they did is they took the plastic shovel and they put some sand on me, and they had a bucket on me and everything. And I'm lying there under the sand. And suddenly I felt, wow, you know, after drinking so much beer earlier on, I need to go use the toilet. Oh yeah, I gotta take a piss. Now what can I do? I looked over there, the toilet's so far away, you know, I don't want to go there. So I decided I'm gonna take a piss right here. Now even my going over here, I mean talking so much, there was so much unnecessary information. Do you really care if they use a shovel to put me under the sand? Who cares? You know, do you really care if there were 2 guys and 1 girl? Who cares? Who cares if the toilet is far away? Nobody cares. It does not help the situation. Not only does it not help, it now confuses you because you're like, okay, the toilet's over there. There's 2 guys over here. There's a girl there. You know, you're like, hey, hold on. You'll get confused. So simplify it. You know, say only the essential things. However, don't simplify it to the point it's robotic. Don't be like, okay, so I'm at the beach. Lying down. Friends are like, hey, bury the sand? Yeah. You know, I'm under the sand. I'm like, gotta take a piss. What should I do? So I pissed. And then the sand sank. You're sharing. You're talking like you're talking to a friend, right? So you can say it, and at least with stand-up comedy, we're a little bit more raw in the sense that if we have little so I was like, you know, I was under the sand, right? You know, if you talk that way, people are just talking to you like a friend. They're relaxed. They're like in a bar chatting with you, in a restaurant talking to you. They're enjoying it, listening to what you have to say, and just having a good time. However, if you are giving a presentation very serious, you know, it's like, shh, don't talk. Okay, so I was at the beach, and then at the beach, my friends decided to put me under the sand. Now I'm under the sand, and suddenly I'm going to take a piss. And so I decided, you know, if I took a piss, you wouldn't know. So what I did is, under the sand, I was pissing my pants. And then what happened was, the sand around this area started to sink. You know, you're just like, okay. You become like the audience, a very passive audience. You can't kind of, I'm not talking to you, I'm kind of presenting, you know. As in I'm like, you know, let me talk. Listen to what I have to say, you know. It's not a lecture. With jokes, it's a very relaxed situation. To be funny, you need to let people feel relaxed. Let them know it's okay to laugh. Let them know, like, you know what, don't worry, laugh, that's the point. You know, when people like you, they're relaxed, they enjoy what you're saying, and they will enjoy what you're saying and laugh with it, right? So that's another thing. The way you say it, in my opinion, works for me, is that just feel like you're sharing a story. You're not presenting, you're not trying to memorize, you're just sharing. So when I write my comedy bits as well, very rarely do I have a full script. I will not memorize, and then I went to the beach, stuff. And then I went and saw my friend. And then I saw my friends, I said, hey, John, stop. You know, I'm not going to think of it that way. I'm just like, went to the beach, friends over there, friends told me, bury you under the sand, took a piss, sand started to sink. As I speak it to you, I will add fill in all the words to connect the 2 dots. Why? Is because it lets me feel more relaxed that I'm just talking to you guys. And when I'm just doing that, you will psychologically relax and listen to me and kind of like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, really? Oh, that's cool, you know. You will not feel like, let him speak, don't interrupt him. You know? You don't want that with comedy. Don't let people feel like they don't want to interrupt you. Now, with stand-up comedy, another thing we have is hecklers, right? We have people who are like, hey man, I didn't go to that beach, you know. People might say stuff. But I believe in Toastmasters, people are more respectful, you know. They don't interrupt you so much, hopefully. Unless you interrupt everyone. But so, okay, so like I said, come on stage, share it. Present it in a way you want people to enjoy it. Feel that in your heart when you're saying it as well. People will feel it, all right? Now, going back to the pauses, let me go back to the story about going to the beach and in the sand. Now, the pauses I did were necessary. Why? As I said, to visualize and to create the tension. A pause is a very high tension moment when everyone's kind of like, it kind of like, it's like, you're just like, you're stretching a